increases in household income. The loan and deposit services result in diversification of the income, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to help them diversify their business base. Access to financial services gives them more different mix of assets, and the access to microfinance enables them people to manage risk better. And one thing I did have learned in the time I've done training with the Ugandans, even though many of them are illiterate and they can't write, they're very shrewd and very entrepreneurial. You know, when we would talk about business ideas, I mean, they would jump on stuff and go, yeah, that's a great idea. And you could see them thinking through, you know, how they were going to try and make this new business work. And this is an interesting little story. I threw this picture on here. It's probably hard to see a little bit. Anybody recognize what that is right there? That is a 13-foot python skin. And Emma here, this is actually where we stayed. This is the room we're in, it's right here. Emma, who's 15 years old, was out fishing one day while we were there, and Emma caught in his fishing net this python. So Emma took the python, skinned it, and they ate it. But the skin he was going to sell in the marketplace. He stretched it out, dried it out himself. He was trying to sell it to me, and I said, well, thank you. I don't think customs would let me take it through anyway, even if I wanted to. So, but it was just an interesting story. And this little boy here is David. He's the son of a missionary couple that lives on the island, Andrew and Kiki, who was from Oregon, live on the island, and that's their son, David. So, but yeah, that's a python that he caught while we were there. Financial training classes. While we were there, we did several financial training classes, and this is the classroom where we conducted it. One of the challenges, of course, doing training is the interpretation. Oops, I flipped the wrong one. This was my interpreter. That was Robert up there, who's doing the interpretation. It's interesting when you're doing training and somebody's interpreting, because you speak and then they're interpreting, and it just takes twice as long to do it, but it gives you time to think, because you say something, and then while the interpreter's interpreting, you can take a minute and think, all right, now what's the next point I want to make? But overall, the communication was actually pretty good with everybody we were dealing with. This is just a picture of the participants in the program. Actually, we had kind of a sad story where this young lady here, Alice left. Oh, I think her name was Olivette. No, you're back. Oliva, that's right. Her house burned down while we were there, and so she had nowhere to stay. They were literally living under a tree while we were there, and so she's one of the people that's participating in the training and trying to help her out and get reestablished and so forth. And again, that happens. There's no insurance to replace homes on the island, so they're trying to get their lives back in order.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is the financial training predicated on the loan, or are they separate?
Yes. No. The kind of the process is they participate in the savings and loan program. They must participate in the training program that we do. And then the next part is the business plan development, is they actually put a business plan together. I sat down with every participant one-on-one, and we put it's basically a 3-page form that we use to help them lay out their business plan. And we talk about things like, how are you going to price your product? Who are you going to market your product to? Who's your competition? You know, why do you think this will be successful? And, you know, kind of a system we go through to help them develop their business plan. And it's very interesting. I mean, some of them are very creative, although a lot of it revolves around agriculture, and that was one thing we were trying to get them to diversify. It's not always focusing on just the agricultural products. Maybe there's other things that could be sold on the island, and so that's what we try to help coach them on a little bit. These are the BISCA training graduates. That's the group that I worked with in Uganda. And overall, there's a few people that are actually missing when we took this picture. There's probably 35, 40 people that participated in our training session. And this is just outside the school where we took this picture.